Welcome to this edition of Safety First. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today we're going to be talking about the third Citizens Fire and Rescue Academy that's offered through the Suffolk Fire and Rescue Department. And to talk about this wonderful event coming up this fall, we have two very special guests with us today. We have Captain Ratliff and we have Kim Barrett, who is an EMS training officer. So thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, third time around with this academy. So let's talk about, in essence, what are we talking about? What's going to be offered through the academy? What can people take part in?
Well, what basically it's set up for is we're gonna do the classroom part, which is going to consist of anything from Project Lifesaver, which is what we have in the city of Suffolk right now, as far as finding lost people with autism and elderly people, and we'll be doing technical rescue, which will consist of tying knots. It may have a car out there that's flipped over, and kind of give them a perspective on what the when we go in to do a rescue or get someone out of a car, how we have to cut and manipulate the metal in the car to bring somebody out. That'll be the hands-on portions, and then the classroom, like I said, goes everything from, like I said, we go back to Project Lifesaver to technical rescue, emergency management, medical services, where they teach about basic EMT stuff, and and then we offer on one of the Saturdays, which is we offer it to the applicants. If they want to, they can become CPR certified, which is basically like a 5 or 6 hour course, and that's totally free. That's one of the classes that are offered.
So really what y'all are trying to do with the academy, correct me if I'm wrong, is give citizens an opportunity to see kind of what y'all do, because people think, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's so many different things that Fire and Rescue does that I think people don't know about, and this class is a way to introduce them to that, as well as bring some skills into it as well with some of the modules, if you will, that y'all are offering through the class, right?
Right. It's kind of like, it's basically the way I look at it, it's kind of like the day in the life of a firefighter.
There you go.
How they operate, where they eat, where they sleep, what they do in a normal day, and some people may have the misconception that you ride by a firehouse and you don't see them standing outside, but what they're doing inside, they're doing some type of rescue training, they're doing some kind of classroom training, tabletop exercise. They're always doing something, and in that perspective, so just to let the citizens come into, which it's their house, come into our house and see how we function during a normal day. And they'll have questions come up, do you eat here, do you sleep here, y'all here for 24 hours, how do you there's a lot of things that go on in there that they'll get a chance to be a part of. Kind of pulling back the curtain, if you will, to kind of see, like you said, the day in the life of, or the night in the life of, because it's a 24-hour job. Right.
So it's interesting, because like you said, people have conceptions of what they think it is to be a firefighter or work with the Fire and Rescue Department, and this is a good way to get a feeling for here's what's really going on, so to speak. And some of it we know it's Hollywood, some of it's real life as far as what y'all are dealing with in that perspective, for what people think versus maybe what really kind of goes on sometimes, right? Yeah. Now, so we talked about kind of what it is. When is it going to take place, and where is this all going to be happening?
Well, it's going to start. It's a 5-week course or class that starts November 4th to December 5th. And like I said, November 23rd is a Saturday. That is optional. If the participants or the applicants choose to do the CPR class, we will put it on. We will pay for the books, and it's no cost to the applicant or the students.
Got it. And really want to note up front that really the whole academy is no cost to the people that get accepted to participate, correct?
Correct.
Now, how can people register? So people are all fired up watching this segment going, I want to take part in this. How can I register, and what's the deadline to do so?
There is a link online for registration, and the deadline is September the 6th. They will be notified by October the 4th. There is a background investigation that has to be done as well.
Got it. And again, that's sort of what the time frame that we're talking about, to make sure everybody's ready to go and do that. And I think y'all have about 24 or so slots in the class?
Correct.
So again, it's first come, first serve once everybody gets the application in, and obviously the background check is done, correct?
Correct.
Got it. And because we already talked about the fact that it doesn't cost you anything, so really the only time it is the only thing it really costs you is the time to fill out the application and the time to participate in the classes, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Now, as far as the basic schedule, I know you mentioned the one Saturday session with the CPR, and that's optional, correct?
Right.
But as far as during the week, normally, what is it, Mondays and Wednesdays? Am I right about that? But I know there's some weeks that due to the holiday schedule, because again, when we get into that later in the year, that the schedule will shift a little bit, but all that information is on the application form, so they can see that to make sure that they're available. And certainly we encourage people that are participating, if you're going to sign up, make sure you got all the dates clear, because you want them to get the full impact of what you're trying to get across, right?
Right.
Got it. Now, again, this is the third time we've done this, and I know it's an annual thing, but any lessons you've learned or experiences from people who participated before that have maybe said, look, this really was really cool and here's why, kind of stuff? Again, just to people who might be watching this segment thinking about participating, just to kind of get them to kind of fill out that application and get that process going. What would you say?
I think it has been a true eye-opener to some of the participants in the past to understand that we are not just sitting waiting for the next call to occur.
Right.
That we are doing other tasks.
Sure. Captain?
And one of the things we took away from the first one to the second one that we did is that the first one we didn't do any hands-on.
Yeah.
And we got that cleared through the city. We're good with that at a limit of what we can do.
Of course.
But I think that was an eye-opener once we got, because we put out an evaluation form and kind of got some feedback and kind of went back to the drawing board and said, how can we make this better based off the comments that we get off the evaluation forms? And that's what we decided to do, like I said, within limit what the city will allow us with risk management and all.
Of course.
This is what we can do. So last time we did a little bit more hands-on, and I think they got more out of it. So, it's all based off the evaluation sheets that we send out, and then we take that information and we make sure that we clear it through the city. That's good with them.
Yeah.
And then we sit down and say, well, let's try to do more of this. And the good thing is that the companies that are involved with the training on the floor they want to do more with the citizens, to give them more of a perspective of what's going on. And that's what we're looking for. And like I said, we evaluate everything, and we want them to have an experience of a lifetime, because we want them to go out and tell people. Yeah. And the good thing is what they learn in this academy could save their next door neighbor's life based off, because we go over smoke detectors, fire alarms, we do things with where the kids hide when a fire starts, 911. I mean, we go from start to finish. So this is not only and people that may seek a professional job with the fire department, this is an opportunity for them to get a taste of, hey, this is kind of a little bit of what we do, but it's not everything what we do. But you got to be 18 years old. That's something I need to mention. You got to be 18 years old.
Sure.
And like I said, we want the citizens of Suffolk to have the best experience they can. So we're trying to give them the best experience we can with this Citizens Academy. And like I said, it's growing, it's getting better. We're learning, and they're learning. And we just want to take this opportunity today to sit down and say, please put in for this. This is an experience of a lifetime. I mean, you were going to get so much out of this, and we're going to make sure that, like I said, this could save your life or it could save your neighbor's life.
And I think the other great thing about this is because you're right there in a fire station, taking the classes and doing the hands-on exercises and everything, but it really humanizes who Suffolk Fire and Rescue is. Because people see the vehicles, people see the stations, people see the personnel out and about in the community doing all the great things that y'all do. Because again, it's not just putting out fires. There's so many other things that go on. Education, I think, is the big thing you're tying in with the academy. But the fact of the outreach you do with Suffolk Public Schools, with different citizen groups and things like that, to get those, safety tips out there, that information out there. You'll do the fire safety blitz. There's so many different programs that go on, but I think putting faces and people with the department, I think really kind of bridges that gap, so to speak, between the residents and the department to make sure, there are the human beings over there that are working this, living this life, that are doing this great work in our community, and just making sure that everyone understands and getting good information across at the same time. It's a win-win for everybody, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It's like I said, it's a great thing that was started, this being the third one.
Sure.
And we want to continue this. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to improve and make this, make this an awesome experience for people, citizens of Suffolk. Right now, it's only open to the citizens of Suffolk. But as we progress, we hope to open up to everybody, because you got people coming in visiting, because it's the holidays and all, and they may want to be involved with it, and something they learn may go back and teach somebody from their community. Hey, this is what we learned in Suffolk.
Right.
And that's what we're hoping for, and that's what we want it to happen.
And again, registration is ongoing now through early September. Kim, you mentioned the fact that online, and we'll put up that URL where people can go to get the form. There's some other information there that kind of details some of the information we've been talking about today. The link is right at the top of the page, so you can't miss it for that application. Can you also, if people didn't go online, can they also go by one of the fire stations to pick up applications? Y'all have them at the stations, or would you just really prefer them to kind of work off online? I mean, how do y'all have that set up?
I would prefer that they work offline.
That's fine. Okay.
We're not. They could pull it offline at every station if they had to go in there, look at the link, and pull it off the application for the person who's interested in taking the class.
Okay.
But if you don't have a computer, or if something happens and you don't know how to access it, you can come to Station 6 at 300 Kings Fork Road, which is our headquarters, and you can ask for myself or Kim, or we have the great ladies that work up front. You can ask one of them to get in contact with us. And what we'll do is we'll pull it offline for you. We'll help you fill it out. And if you do fill it out, you know, and you want to bring it up to Station 6, you're more than welcome to bring it up there, and we'll take care of it from there.
Got it. Very good. Now, if anybody's watching and they have more questions about the Academy and kind of how it's set up or anything, any good contact number for them to reach, either one of you or just in general, if they have general questions about it?
Basically, our number is listed on the application itself, and you can call us. If you can't get in touch with us, you can call 514-4550. And like I said, the great ladies up front that work in that office will get in contact with one of us.
Good deal.
And we will definitely, if we're not there at the office at the time, we will call and make arrangements to meet with you or answer any questions you have.
Got it. Good deal. Well, thank you all for your time today to talk about the 3rd Annual Citizens Fire and Rescue Academy. Again, registration is going on now. You want to get your application in as soon as possible to make sure everything goes right and you get in on that class. A great opportunity to learn about what the men and the women of Suffolk Fire and Rescue are doing, and also pick up some great safety skills along the way as well. A lot of hands-on exercises as part of this. So it's a real great learning opportunity, a chance to have some fun and get to know some great people here in our community. Again, thank you for your time today. Appreciate that. And that will do it for this edition of Safety First. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.